Hello everyone, welcome to another math online lesson. Our lesson for today is principal roots and irrational numbers. So what is a principal root? A principal root is a positive square root of a number. It can be rational or an irrational number. So remember, when we talk about principal root, it's always the positive square root of a number. Because when we talk about square root, there are two possible roots for that number. It's a positive and negative root. But if what is being asked is the principal root, we only need the positive root of that number. Now, if we are talking about principal root, we are dealing with the radical sign. Now, for us to know the principal root of that certain number, we need to memorize or be familiar with the perfect square numbers. So I made some table here of those perfect square numbers. So you need to be familiar with these numbers. Let's start with the square of 1. So 1 square is the same as 1 times 1, and the perfect square of 1 is 1. Next, 2 square. It's the same as 2 times 2, therefore that is equal to 4. 4 is a perfect square number. Again, we have 3 squared. It's the same as 3 times 3. Again, 9 is a perfect square number. And so on here. 4 squared, we have 4 times 4. We have 16. 5 squared, that's 5 times 5, equals to 25. 6 squared, that is 6 times 6, equals to 36. 7 squared, that is 7 times 7, equals to 49. 8 squared, that's 8 times 8, equals to 64. 9 squared, that's 9 times 9, equals to 81. And then we have 10 squared, that's 10 times 10, equals to 100. Now, all the numbers here, these are perfect square number. Okay, so please remember this number. We have the perfect square number here. Now, in between 1 and 4, say for example, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 are not a perfect square number. Therefore, they are an irrational number. Okay, so only these numbers are perfect square number. Now let's go ahead and continue up to 20. And then you go ahead, make the perfect square number from 21 to until 100 if you want to. Okay, so we have 11 squared, so you have 11 times 11, we have 121. 12 squared, you have 12 times 12, you have 144. 13 squared, you have 13 times 13, you have 169. 14 squared, you have 14 times 14, you have 196. 15 squared, you have 15 times 15, that's 225. 16 squared, you have 16 times 16, 256. 17 squared, you have 17 times 17, that's 289. 18 squared, that's 18 times 18, gives you 324. 19 squared, that is 19 times 19, 361. And we have 20 squared, that's 20 times 20 gives you 400. Again, all these numbers here are perfect square numbers. So you have from 1 to 20, and these are the perfect square number. So if you find the square root of 121, then the answer is 11. If you ask for the square root of 256, the answer is 16. If you ask the square root of 49, then the answer is 7. Or the principal root of 49 is 7. The principal root of 324 is 18. The principal root of 144 is 12, and so on. Again, the principal root is the positive square root of the number. So if you find this, if you try to get the square root of these numbers here, which are perfect square, then the answer will be this one here, one of the factors here. Okay, so let's try to have an example. What is the principal root of 25? Now we all know that 25 is a perfect square number based on our table earlier. Let's go back. Here, 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. Now let's try to check. There. The principal root of 25 is 5. Now how about if the number under the radical sign is a fraction? We can still get the principal root of this one. First, ask yourself, is 4 a perfect square? Is 9 a perfect square? The answer is yes. 4 is a perfect square because we have 4 here as 2 times 2, right? And then 9 here is also a perfect square because we can write it as 3 times 3. Therefore, if we try to find the principal root of 4 over 9, the answer would be 2 over 3. Okay? Now, what about if the number is not a perfect square? The number is an irrational number. How are we going to find the principal root? So say for example here, the square root of 5. Now based on our table earlier, we do not have 5 as a perfect square. So we have 1, and then after 1, that's 4. Then after 4, that's 9, right? So here, the square root of 5 lies between the square root of 4 and square root of 9 because 4 is 2 times 2, and after 2 times 2, we have 3 times 3, right? Which is the square root of 9. So therefore, 5 here lies in between these two perfect square numbers. Now, how are we going to get the principal root? So from here, we can say that square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 5 then lies between 2 and 3. Okay? Since 5 is not a perfect square, then the principal root of the square root of 5 lies between 2 and 3. So here, it's in between here. Okay? Now, what is the exact value of the square root of 5? This will be discussed in my next video. Okay, let's have another example. We have here negative square root of 55. So disregard first the negative sign. Let's try to check if square root of 55 is a perfect square. Is it a perfect square based on the table that we have? No, square root of 55 is not a perfect square. So first step, we need to find the first perfect square before square root of 55 and after square root of 55. And that would be 64, which is 8 times 8. Remember, this one is a negative number, so this must be the smallest number. Okay? Then we have 7 times 7. These are the perfect square numbers, which 55 is in between. Okay, so it's in between the square root of 49 and the square root of 64, which is 7 times 7 and then 8 times 8. Okay, so square root of 55 lies between 49, the first perfect square number, and the next perfect square number is 8 times 8. Therefore, the square root of 55, since the square root of 64 is 8, which is negative because of this sign, and then the square root of 49 is negative 7, okay? The square root of negative 55 lies between negative 8 and negative 7. Now, I know that earlier I said that the principal root should be a positive number. Now, like I said, the negative sign is outside the radical. Okay, so it's outside the radical. So the square root of 84 is 8, and then let's just copy the negative sign here. Also, the square root of 49, the positive square root of 49 is 7, and then let's just copy the negative sign here. That is why the square root of negative 55 lies between negative 8 and negative 7. Now let's try to have these examples. So tell whether the following is rational or irrational number. If it is rational number, give its principal root. If not, give the two consecutive integers where the irrational number lies. Okay, so let's have here the square root of 49. Is it a perfect square or not? Yes, it's a perfect square. That is 7 times 7. That's 49, right? So this is a rational, and then the principal root is 7. Now, how about 144? Is it a perfect square or not? Yes, it is a perfect square. What is the perfect square of, what is the principal root of 144? That is 12 times 12, that is 144. So the square root of 144 is a rational number, and then the principal root is 12. That is 12 times 12, 144. How about 35? Is 35 a perfect square number? No, because you have 5 times 5, 25, and then after 5 times 5, that is 36 now, which is 6 times 6, right? So 35 is not a rational number. Therefore, this is an irrational number. So where does the square root of 35 lies between? So it lies between the square root of 25, right? That is 5. 5 times 5, that's 25. And then 6 times 6, that is 36. So it lies between 5 and 6. Did you get it? 35 is not a perfect square because when 5 multiplied by 5, that is 25, which is a perfect square. And after 5, that's 6 times 6, which is 36. Okay? So the perfect square before 35 is 25, and then the next is 36. Therefore, 35 is not a perfect square. So, and it lies between 25 and 36. And the square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 36 is 6. Therefore, the square root of 35 lies between 5 and 6. Okay? Next is square root of 81 a perfect square. The answer is yes. Square root of 31 is a perfect square. Therefore, this is a rational number. So what is the square root of 81 then? That is positive 9. How about 120? Is it a perfect square? No, this is not a perfect square. Okay, 120 is an irrational number. So what is the perfect square or the two perfect square before and after 120? So since that is 100, so let's try 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is 100, right? 10 times 10 is 100. So what's the next perfect square of 10? That is 11 times 11. What is 11 times 11? That is 121. Therefore, the square root of 120 lies between 10 and 11. Because 10 times 10 is 100. 11 times 11 is 121. So it's in between, 120 is in between 100 and 121. Right? Next, is square root of 65 a perfect square? No, because square root of 65 is an irrational number. So where does the square root of 65 lies between? Irrational. Okay. So 65, I think the perfect square here is 64, which is 8 times 8, right? 8 times 8 is 64. So what's next to 8? That's 9. Right? 8 and 9, because 9 times 9 is 81. So it's in between. 65 is in between 8 times 8, which is 64, right? And then 9 times 9, that is 81. So square root of 65 lies between 8 and 9. So as you can see here, if the number is irrational, so it's in between the two consecutive number. Okay, two consecutive number. 11, 10, 5, 6, 8, 9. So consecutive. Next, square root of 84. Is it a perfect square or not? Again, square root of 84 is not a perfect square. So where does square root of 84 lies between? So again, 84 is not a perfect square, therefore it's an irrational number. So where does square root of 84 lies again? So it lies between the first perfect square before 84 is 81, right? It's 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Obviously, the next number here is 10 because it should be a consecutive number. Then, 10 times 10 is 100. Therefore, 84 lies between 81 and 100. So it lies between 9 and 10. How about 225? Is 225 a perfect square? Yes, it is a perfect square. Based on the table that we made earlier, the square root of 225 is 15. 15 times 15 is 225. And obviously, 100 is a perfect square, which is 10. Square root of 100 is 10. How about square root of 155? Is the square root of 155 a perfect square? No. This is an irrational number. Square root of 155 is an irrational number. Now, where does the square root of 155 lies between? So the first perfect square before 155 is 144, which is 12 times 12. Right? 12 times 12 is 144. Obviously, the next consecutive number of 12 is 13. And then 13 times 13, that is 169. So 155 is in between 144 and 169. There you go. That is the topic on principal rules. Hope you learned something today and see you in my next online video on how to get the uh, roots of an irrational number.